But unfortunately, when you're a public figure like you are, and you get married to someone who's also in a public space, everything that goes on, even in your bedroom, gets out there somehow. For a very strange reason, because Funny Face is a very popular figure, everyone knows that he's a 2 minutes guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he actually said it himself.
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe it's okay where he is. They appreciate 2 minutes. Some people
it depends on where you find yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Experience, first-hand experience. I'm telling you.
I know. But you got married to a very beautiful woman, Pokello, and people were looking on from outside and saying, "Wow, like very."
You were the host of that Ghana Music Awards when I proposed.
Of course,
it must have
been. I was the MC.
It must have been. Yeah. You must have gone to bed thinking, "What the hell just happened tonight?"
I thought it was a beautiful thing. I thought it was a beautiful thing. But then again, there are quite a number of people who say two people in the limelight find it difficult to stay together in a relationship. Do you agree to that notion?
To some extent, yes and no. It could be two good heads not understanding each other to the extent that they should. So in this other book that I read, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and it's a book from 1936. Awesome book. Still relevant today. It says, don't be quick to condemn people, but rather consider people and try to understand and soak in and appreciate what they say and what they do.
Right.
When you're two such powerful people, there's always a conflict of understanding or interest or something as trivial as, why did you put up that picture on social media? It's going to make you look some way, which makes me look some way. Then it becomes a thing of, but this is social media, it's my thing. If you don't cut the other person some slack or consider, it becomes a thing of, it turns into an argument. And then it turns into like sour soup in your mouth. But having said that, I think it then boils down to considering and tolerance and patience and understanding. Two people on that level could also make it work.
When you look back, do you think the things that you could have done, if you should have the opportunity to do it again, things that you'd amend?
So there was an interview Pokello granted some time ago that I didn't watch, and she was asked what happened between her and I, and she said Elikem was not ready for marriage. I got married at 26, 27, and maybe she was right. So Pokello is 3 years older than me, right? And at the time we got married, she was maybe 29, 30, and so maybe to some extent she was seeing some things that I didn't see, because now that I've turned 51, I'm seeing a whole lot of things I didn't see at 27. So maybe she was right in considering people and in appreciating people. Maybe she was right. I think to some extent she was right, because I must have not understood the concept of marriage and sacrifice. So there was a swift balance between having to live in Zimbabwe or live in Ghana. I tried to make a move to live in Zimbabwe. I was away for a bit, sold a little bit of what I had, moved away, and she equally almost tried to live in Ghana. But I don't remember too well where we fell off or what exactly happened. But there was this long period of time where things just went off because of distance. She was there, I was here, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, and before you know it, it's no longer a thing to hold on to. And then we had to split. So
was there a clash because of your personalities? Because you have a very strong personality.
I do, and she does as well. But look, I'll give accolades where it's due. Pokello is a good wife at home, regardless of her glam out there, regardless of her personality out there. She'll cook, she'll clean, she breastfeeds constantly, she takes care of the babies. Well, at night, she'll breastfeed and just pass the baby to me, and I have to change the diapers and do all that. But she does her part as a good mother and as a good woman. And so there's nothing to condemn when it comes to, being a certain kind of personality. I think perception about her is there's a whole lot of wrong out there. And I know her firsthand for who exactly she is. And I don't think it was a clash of personalities. I think the distance did most of the damage. And I like to blame it at that and leave it there.
Yeah. But looking back, do you think, I mean, because you just acknowledged that maybe you were a bit young and maybe you were not really ready like she thought. Right. Do you think you rushed into the relationship, the whole marriage thing?
No, so I knew I was in love while I was in the Big Brother house. And I said to her, when we come out, we're going to try this. We're going to at least try it. So when we came out, that's what we did. We tried it. And I'm going to say this, and I know for sure that she was equally in love, probably maybe even more in love than I was. Right. But, like I said, things fall short, and we fall short as humans as well. And then there was that vast period of time that turned void, that completely damaged or broke everything.
Well, was there anything like pressure from the public because of everything that the two of you are, your personalities? You become public figures. Every picture that's put out needs to be 100.
Right. Not at all. So, I'm a lover. Okay, I think I am. At least I've been told I am, and I love for my woman and I to match clothes. I like to buy gifts when I travel and I'm coming back. And that's
a Voltairean bit. That's a Voltairean bit of you.
When I make an outfit, I just want to make some for my wife. Like, big deal. Let's match.
Well, that's the F1 and Derby thing.
That's the F1 and Derby thing.
Your forefathers did the same thing.
And Pokello loved pictures. And I spend hours. I get angles, and it made sense after we put out the first few pictures that would trend and bring back work to me. So it became a marketing strategy that we're just trying to look good, and people want to make the clothes because we don't call a professional photographer. We just use our phone, take a picture. And I literally be walking in the marketplace of Harare, and you find your tailors having our pictures in a full pamphlet, using them as templates and stuff to sew for other people. So to some extent, it felt like, oh, wow, like this is actually a thing. So we made it a thing. But initially, it wasn't a thing. We were just, trying to dress up and be a couple, basically.
Right. What kind of relationship do you two have now?
Oh, we have a very, very, I could use the word loving, not in love. We have a son, Tristan. Awesome child, and Tristan is up to 1 or 2 naughties every now and then. So Pokello will take out the phone and record and send to me, say, "Look at what your son is doing." And
I'm sure she blames you for all that, right?
She does. She's like, "Your son is in the mood swing again. Look at him over there, and you gave him this mood swing." And we have that very cordial understanding, back and forth. Relationship. We're very cool. We're too cool, actually. We're cool. We're pretty cool.
What do you think is the biggest lesson from that relationship?
I've learned to be more patient. I've learned to listen more, and I've learned to stretch as far wide my relationship as far as I can, regardless of the situation. I've learned a lot from there, and it's working.
How long did it take for you to get to that realization?
It took being out of marriage and being divorced, and even up until like very recently to realize that you need to as much. You see, it's like business. If you stay focused to your business, you milk it. And like I said, once you stop fighting for what you want, what you do not want comes in. So if the marriage is what you want, stick to it and fix it and work on it. At least as long as you know that this woman has got these few qualities that I appreciate in a woman, the rest can work. All you need to do is stick it up. You've been married for such a long time, KOD. It's been over a decade, maybe?
Yeah, like 11 or 12 years.
Look at that. And I'm sure there's been highs and lows, but you stick to the highest more, and you appreciate the highest more, and you appreciate the kind of woman your wife is much rather than what she's doing now, currently, that's pissing you off. And that's what I think holds a marriage together. It's living on the good things more than the bad. Because otherwise, when you dwell on the bad, you only bring more bad.
Do you have any moments when like you sit back and you're like, ah man, I want to go back to her? Have you ever gone through that? Like I want to start all over again.
A few times.
I mean, like, you're seeing someone now, but did you how many times did you go through that? Did you like give her a call to say, Charlie, let's try this again?
Once, only once in a long time. And she was like, Elikem, you know what? I moved on and what? And I was single at the time. I was like, you know what, Elikem, find yourself a girlfriend. But yes, I went through that phase where I thought, you know, why are you not that man who has your one child with this one woman that you live with the rest of your life and have more kids with? Why do you have to be that man who has given this boy stepbrothers or stepsisters or half brothers or half sisters and all that? I went through that phase that, you know, my dad did it, where he had a child before meeting my mom, and then there was divorce, and you know, it just started reminding me of the whole craze of what such a family is. And I thought to myself, you know, do you want to replicate that? And I said, you know what, no. So I went through that phase of, you know, wanting to feel like I wanted to get back. I spoke about it once, and Pokello must have thought it was a joke because of how the divorce went down. So she didn't take it seriously, but maybe she didn't even want it. But I did go through a bit of that. Yeah.
Was the fallout a bitter one?
No. Like I said, it was a whole lot of talk and ins and outs, and everything was fine. And then there was that gap of silence and am I coming? Are you coming? Who's coming? Distance, one thing led to another, and that was it.
How did you take what I describe as pressure from the media? Because once people got wind of it, you know, there was always one story, another story about the two of you. People had all sorts of things to say about you. How did you two take that?
So when I meet someone, I tell them, don't Google me, because there's so much conspiracy out there. There's so much controversy out there that has my name written on it, and 80% of it's not even true, and that's what I live with right now. But yeah, I went through a bit of it, being married to her, and after coming out of marriage with her, and I guess it comes with claim to fame, you know. So I just suck it up, and like I said, you always hope to be a better man moving forward, and that's what you focus on.
Culture says good men go to heaven and bad men go everywhere. Are you a bad guy?
Yes, I've got a bit of bad in me. I'm trying to make good completely. I'm not a good guy completely. No, I've got a bit of bad in me. I think everyone does, but you suppress the bad, you know, to bring out the good. Yeah, so that's what I'm in the process. I'm in the process of suppressing my bad completely. I'm hoping by the time I turn my golden jubilee, I'll be a complete better man.
You said you got married to a lady who is slightly like how many years? What's the age difference between Pokello and yourself?
She's 3 years older.
3 years. And then, you know, there was that rumor out there that, you know, you had a relationship with Neo-Dati Lamte's wife, who is much older than you. Do you have a thing for ladies who are older than you? I mean, there are people who would say, like, I like someone who's older because they carry themselves well. They're more grounded. I don't want a young girl who wouldn't know what to do. What's your story?
You're breaking
Is it
off.
better now?
Yes, it's much better now, I think. But I heard your
Is
question.
it better now?
So I think I heard your question. So I coincidentally found myself with Pokello, who was much older in the Big Brother Africa house. As for rumors, we're gonna leave rumors as rumors because I've been through that past, and it was a phase of my life that was rather daunting. I was apparently a father to a child that I was only like what 12 years older than, 13 years older than. It was a silly story, so I let it go. But you know, the whole thing of dating this woman and that woman comes with. I just come out of the Big Brother Africa house, and there was a whole lot of attention around me. So every small thing that was said about me was a big deal. So if the
How old
stories
were you then?
coming out of Big Brother, I was what, 25, 24 maybe. Yeah, 24, 25.
Yeah.
So like I said, any small story that was attached to me flew. That's how that story of dating the footballer's ex-wife came into play. And I didn't make that such a big deal. I just let it go because, you know, I found Pokello and I found love and I was focusing on that. So I didn't really capitalize on that. Having said that, Pokello, I had just met in the house. I didn't know her age. She actually didn't talk about it. I pushed up my age a little bit, you know, and I think, as cliche as it may sound, age is really nothing but a number because
Yeah.
Pokello and I never felt like she was older. She gave me my respect as a man. And it was never a thing, you know, even up till now, it was never ever a thing. And when I speak to her today, she still has that respect for a man that as she would have for, you know, any other man, I guess, because maybe that's just the way she is. And so, you know, the age was never a problem, and that's why I think I got married to her.
Who's the special lady in your life now?
A special lady. That's her name. A special lady.
You don't want us to get to know who she is?
Well, with time, of course, it's gonna be out there. But you know, I've learned to have OQP. OQP is only quality people. Now you need people who have quality attached to them, people who can equally motivate you, people you can learn from, people who can push you, people who say to you, "Oh, I think that's a bad idea. Try this," and it actually works. And that's who this woman is. And I think I'm at a stage of my life where I feel like I said, I want to be a better man, and a lot of focus comes with everything else. And you know, jumping around the whole place at 31 and still trying to figure out who to be with or what to do is a whole lot of work. And you know, men get to a point where they almost try to live a double life, where you have this one chick and have a side chick, or have a wife and have a side chick, and you know, and it's become a thing, quote unquote. And I just feel like, you know, I need to focus and finally find a way to settle. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Did you have some other chicks when you were with Pokello?
No, no. With Pokello, I was straight. I was quite straight. I tried my best to be the straightest I could be. Although she was far away. There's occasionally one of the people I was talking to on the phone, but I tried myself not to materialize it.
When you fell out between then and now, meeting this special lady, you know, once you fall out of a relationship, it's one of two things. You're angry, you want to be on your own, or okay, I'm free now, I feel liberated, I want to go out and be wild. Which did you do?
There's a place you go through, yeah, of wanting to say, Charlie, right now for chill. Big deal. So yeah, I went through that phase of, but you see, I've never been that guy who just goes into the relationship for the sake of just wanting to have sex or wanting to play around. I try to look at it from a more serious angle rather than this one. I just go play small and see what I will find later. And then in looking at it from a serious angle, if it doesn't occur to be right, then you speak about it and move away from it nicely. Because my mom always says this one thing, that do not ever make a woman cry by leaving her. Just try to leave her in a nice, calm manner. So I don't go in and get out. It's never been my style.
So is our special lady, is she younger than you or she's older?
She's a few months younger, couple months, maybe. 1 month. What? Huh?
Is she right there with you?
No, she's not. It's a video. Yeah, she's here.
Have you decided if you want to make it official?
Well,
you want to make it official?
We're in talks. We're in talks like that. Like I said, I don't go into anything, one-eyed. I look at the best picture, and picture looks good. So I think I'm a little more focused here. I think I'm a little more determined here, and we all want to be better people. I don't want to see myself going astray because I'm trying to be all over the place. And there's a tendency and there's a potential. And you've been married for 11, 12 years. You know that there's a certain sense of grounding when it comes to trying to be a man that is settled. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of grounding I'm trying to find.
Do you have a bit of a phobia knowing that, hey, Charlie, am I going to succeed again? Should I wait a bit?
That conversation of, let's not bring bad blood from our previous relationships into here. Let's correct everything we thought was wrong there and make it right here. There's talks of that. So yeah, I guess, being bitten once, you're shy of being bitten again.
There's one thing I know about you, and I said that earlier, that you're a very confident person, which is a great thing.
Thank you.
And if there's someone looking on from a distance, if they don't know you, because I experienced that as well. Sometimes people say that about me, that I'm rude, I'm not so cool, and then they get closer and they realize I'm totally different from that perception. Are you